But something that has ended is Tarik Skubal has been traded. Now, this was been an ongoing thing. Tarik Skubal, man, that man pulls no punches when you put a microphone in front of his face. Boy, Tarik Skubal was out there talking. He was out
uh,
there telling people, "Hey, I knew my elbow was messed up going into the season." The audacity of this man. He said, "I knew my elbow felt funny back then, but I had the contract coming up, and I just figured I'd just thug it out."
yeah, hey, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Tarek, you didn't thug it out. You actually missed like the whole month of May, where the Tigers had probably one of the worst Mays in the history of the franchise. Set them way back. But ever since then, they've been slowly scratching and clawing their way back up. And lo and behold, I come to find out yesterday they are one game back of the wild card position for that final playoff spot. But
Yeah, man. They since Scuba's been gone, I want to say they won 2 out of the 3 games. That
Tigers post Kubel trade, Tigers are 2-1. Post Kubel trade, the Dodgers are 0-3.
hey, that just proves that we can beat the Dodgers.
I don't know about all that. But that does bring me to my point. Let me ask you, man. Detroit is a fan base that loves our guys. And depending on who you are, we could watch a guy go and we could still have love for said guy. I know what you, I believe it's Khalif Raymond is dead to you, Ben Johnson's dead to you. Um,
Yes,
that's pretty much
they're
about
all
it.
they're all part of that organization.
But let me ask you, man. How do we feel about Tarik Skubal now that he's left Detroit?
Uh, I have no hard feelings towards Terry Scuba, man. I mean, my main issue with Ben Johnson and Khalif Raymond and those guys is that they went to a rival. You know what I'm saying? They went out there and they were like, that's like if I owned a hot dog stand, you know what I'm saying, and you work with me, you know what I'm saying, and we decided to split ways. Like, man, it's time for me to go, do my own hot dog stand, you know what I'm saying, and we got a competitor across the street. I hate that guy across the street, you know what I'm saying. I hate that guy with all my heart, but you know what I'm saying. But man, whatever, man. Hey, best to you. You go do you. Go make your money, man. I'm glad that the knowledgeable enough to go and make your own hot dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Aaron
And
Glenn.
out of all the hot dog stands in the world that you could have went to, you walk your ass across the street and go to my competitor that I hate.
Ben Johnson.
and, 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 and not only that, you take my little young, you take my one of my employees with you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck y'all guys. Uh, but Scuba didn't do that, man. Scuba went all the way across the country to L.A. You know what I'm saying? To make his hot dog somewhere that didn't affect me unless I see you in the championship.
Mm, interesting. I'm on the other side of the fence. Um, I would say Terry Skubal is a fraud, phony, fake. Um, this guy, like I said, this guy has no problem talking in front of a camera, and they put the microphone in front of him. Hey, Tarek, how do you feel about this upcoming trade deadline? What do you think the Tigers should do? And this man gets up there and says, I think we should buy. Tarek, you know damn well you're not gonna be here. Maybe you might be here. You might be here at the trade deadline, post trade deadline. You might be here, but we all know you're not gonna be here next year. So you want this franchise to sell the farm, and you gonna go give it all one more shot, and then after that you gonna say, hey, all right, y'all, good luck. I'm about to go get paid. That's wild to me. And then he's on the Dodgers now. And this guy, they put a microphone in front of him again. He talks about how everybody is mad at the Dodgers because they make winning moves, and I think that's just I'm not gonna be mad at a franchise for making. Man, dog, you only been with the enemy for one day and you already talking like the enemy. Like you just gonna put that jersey on and you just gonna jump right into the culture and embrace the villain role. Okay, cool. And then the Tarik Skubal just don't stop. Then today I see this man had the audacity to say, "I loved it there in Detroit, and when the offseason comes around, I really hope Detroit makes an effort to get me back to Detroit." I don't need to hear any more from this man. And I'm kind of over Tarik Skubal, and I'll go as far as to say I hope the Dodgers lose. Like I'm done with Tarik Skubal.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna say that, man. Hey, if the Tigers, which I don't think will happen because the Tigers are cheap, but if the Tigers can pull off trading school, getting assets for them, and then getting them back at the end of getting them back for next season after getting those assets for the guy they just traded, that would be genius. I'm not mad at the guy. Like I said, what he's doing, what he's doing right now doesn't affect my backyard. So hey, talk your shit, Scooble. Hey, do your thing, be the villain. Hey. And Marcus likes bad guys.
The same the same reason that you had to trade Scooble is the same reason why you will not re-sign Scooble. The only way you could have kept Scooble, the only way you could have kept Scooble is by offering him a contract that was detrimental to the Detroit Tigers franchise.
Well, that's why I said I don't think they'll. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they will do it. But I was just saying. But if they did do it, that would be crazy genius. There was another controversy going around about the Tigers side of it saying that they actually did offer Scuba the deal, and Scuba made it clear that he wanted to go to free agency. Now, I think that the offer that the Tigers made Scuba was not I'm trying to. I be thinking. I can't think of the word reputable deal. It wasn't what he was looking for. It wasn't a good deal. It's probably um. You know, just manageable, but not what he's looking for. Not what he's worth. Not what I would sign if I just won the Cy Young Award twice in a row. But the Tigers made that deal. Did offer him that deal, to say that so they could say they come to the media, hey, we offered it to him. He said no. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Now that I know that you're a Scuba hater, I think I know what you're gonna say. But yeah, man, it just feels like the Tigers made that deal just so they could say they did. And if I was Scuba and somebody offered me what I wasn't worth, I would say no. I'm gonna go to free agency too.
Nah, I don't. I don't look at it like that. I look at it as though contract negotiation. It's a contract negotiation. So if I'm the team, I'm not gonna just knock on your door and offer you the moon and the stars. Hey, I'm sure that's why Jameer Gibbs, took so long on his contract extension. I'm sure they didn't just walk in there and offer him the moon and the stars. They let the market dictate what was going on, and we saw people get signed, and lo and behold, Jameer Gibbs gets pretty much the same deal that Bijan Robinson got. But it took time, and I'm sure they, Brad, I can't really. Brad always uses, God, we've had, he doesn't say conversations, but he uses a word, but he talks about he has dialogue. Brad loves to talk about dialogue. When we talk about contracts, there's been interesting dialogue, and it took some dialogue to get to the number and get to terms that both teams agreed to. Now, when you offer Skubal a contract extension and his camp looks at it and laughs at it, okay, okay, all right, man, I get it. All right, yeah, we was just throwing it out there. But then, you was just so insulted by that number that you refused to come back to the table and talk about it. And then your client is going out there talking about how much he loves Detroit and how he wants to stay in Detroit and he loves the guys in that locker room. Bro, you love the guys in the locker room so much that you're not willing to talk about extending an extension here? Dog, it's the most disingenuous, phony conversation that I gotta listen to, and I think there was no number other than being an irresponsible franchise that the Lions, oh my God, Lions on the brain, that the Tigers could have gave that would have of satisfied Skubal and his agent that would have kept him in Detroit.
I'm not sure about that because okay, let's say so you said like okay, Atlanta signed Bijan Robinson. Um the Colts signed Taylor. And that set the market. And then from that the Lions got an idea of what they wanted of what they were gonna sign Gibbs for. So who will be a accountable counterpart for Skubal? Let's just say kind of Shote made what like 500 mil. Now Skubal can't hit like Shote can, so let's just say at least half of that would have been a reasonable, or just above half of that would have been a reasonable contract. Did the Tigers come and say, "Hey, you want to resign again for 30 for 1 year for 30?" I
Yeah, one
mean,
year for
that
one
is
year
an
for 30
assault
is
indeed.
crazy.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
I don't know that that's what they said.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But if that was a offer, would if you were his agent, would you be like, man, we'll just go to free agency?
No, no, I would say no. That's not even close. Come back with a better number.
Okay.
I, there's like, what? I guess what's the benefit other than you don't want to be in Detroit? What's the benefit of just shutting down negotiations?
Because you get a whole bunch of teams bidding on you, other than just Detroit.
Right, but in the meantime, you could get Detroit to raise that number. Now, if Detroit
Yeah.
says we're not raising that number, that's the number. Then yeah, you shut down negotiations. But I haven't heard. Well, all I'm going is off of what Scott Harris said, and Scott Harris
Well,
said that
essentially, you have if you have one team bidding on you, then they have a certain amount, but you kind of raise the price if you have a whole bunch of teams bidding on you. You essentially start a bidding war, which
sure, but
which Detroit will be in.
but let's look at it like, let me put it like this: could Amon-Ra St. Brown have made more money on the open market than he did with the Detroit Lions?
Yes.
But he didn't. He stayed with the Detroit Lions. Why? Because when Amon-Ra St. Brown says he wants to be a Detroit Lion, I believe Amon-Ra St. Brown. I can't use the example of Cade Cunningham because Cade in the NBA, no team could pay you more than the team that drafted you. So Cade had money reasons to stay with Detroit. But even if he didn't, I still believe Cade Cunningham would have stayed with the Detroit Lions. I have no reason to believe Tarik Skubal wants to be in Detroit. I don't know why he keeps on gaslighting the whole Detroit fan base, making people believe that there's a possibility that he wants to be there, and mean old Scott Harris is just being a jerk, and Chris Ilitch is being cheap, and da 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 da. I have no reason to believe that man or his representation.
Uh, I just hopped on the boomerang bandwagon, man. Bring school back, dog.
I was on a YouTube video. I can't even remember what the video was. It might have been a Woodward Sports video. And one of the comments, somebody said, market. Oh yeah, it was, because he said the Woodward Sports people are negative, and he said, mark my words, the Tigers will win their division and make the playoffs. and I showed restraint, and all I said was win the division? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? He said yes. They're gonna win the division. This division is bad, and the Tigers will win the division. And I thought it was crazy, but I didn't call him crazy. I said okay, we'll see. And lo and behold, like I said, they are one game back out of the wild card. I don't know what they are out of their division. I could look that up real quick. But in terms of the trade deadline, man, I loved it. I loved it. You Sky Harris, right? So I told you, I told you that Sky
What's up with
Harris is
you?
number one.
What-
Huh?
What's up with you 11 GMs all of a sudden now?
Hey, man, look, man. I don't ask for much. You may think that I asked for 40 acres and a mule. Bro, all I want you to go out there and do your job with a little bit of passion and a little bit of finesse. And that's all, that's what you get paid the big bucks for. You getting paid millions of dollars. What's so bad about going out there and making a decent move to make the team better? And Sky Harris did something that every GM would love to do, and that is thread the needle between rebuild, retool, and selling. I feel like he did it all. To your point, Sky Harris loves pitchers. Now that I'm not gonna argue with you on that. Sky Harris loves him some pitchers, and all in all, I think he brought back from these deals. He brought back like 4 pitchers, but he also brought back Zaire Hope, a black outfielder. Oh my god,
What?
I'm
The Tigers,
trying,
the Tigers got some color?
no, I can't think. I'm trying to remember the last black player on the Tigers. It's been they cut him. Akil Badu. Akil Badu was a minor league 4A player that went back and forth on the Tigers, but he couldn't find a spot. But but yeah, Zaire Hope, man. If Zaire, it's all contingent on Zaire Hope. If Zaire Hope turns into the player that baseball analysis think he can be, then man, the Tigers sold Skubal and they set themselves up for the future, all while not trading away too many pieces to where they can be a contender. They can continue to fight in this division. They are 3.5 games back from the division lead. So, hey man, there's plenty of baseball left to be played. I'm excited for Zaire Hope. I didn't like what they said. They say he's gonna start at single A ball, so they starting him all the way at the bottom. So he's got to work his way all the way up. But we probably won't see him this year.
Mm.
People are speculating on whether or not there'll be a lockout next year. So who knows? But the good news is, if there is a lockout, minor league baseball continues to be played. So he'll continue to get his reps down there in the minor leagues, and by the time baseball comes around, hey, maybe he'll be ready to play. Maybe he'll be ready to play. But
Detroit